lots of acronyms. It's like a acronym alphabet. And it's called DECA. We call it DECA. And if you go to www.commissaries.com, you can learn all about commissaries. You can learn also not all about commissaries, but you can learn how to do business with the commissaries. They have it all on their website. Just like anything else, it's all Googleable. You know what I mean? The whole process is there. It is a little complicated, but you can find it there at commissaries.com. Not only will you find that there, you can find the locations of all your commissaries. Are all of you here in Las Vegas? Everybody local? Okay. The exchange is a little bit different. There's not one governing body for the exchanges. Each military sector has its own exchange governing system. So APHIS, anybody want to guess what? Army and Air Force exchange, okay, APHIS. MCX, anybody want to guess? Marine Corps exchange. Next, anybody want to guess? Navy exchange. CGX, anybody want to guess? Coast Guard exchange, okay? So all of those are their own individual governing entities. You mentioned something when you sat down. You mentioned that you were working with the vets in the hospitals. Also, under the exchange system, you'll find hospital stores. So VCS is what they call that. And so if you go into a veterans hospital, just like you would in a regular hospital, you know the little flower shops that are there, and all of the small shops that are found in hospitals, they're also run by the by the exchange systems as well. Okay, and that acronym is VCS, Veterans Canteen Service. Y'all still here? Yeah. All right, let's go to the money. Let's talk about it. Let's get to that bag. Commissaries, they're doing $4.5 billion a year in sales. Okay? Exchanges, all of those exchanges combined, $12.7 billion in 2020 in sales. That's the potential. That's the market potential. There's enough for everybody in this room to get a piece of this pie. Would you agree? All right. The smaller stores are going to be ship stores. So that's when our military members are on ships and they shop in the little canteen on the ship. That's a smaller piece of the puzzle. But remember I told you all of that stuff that was included in the exchange system? This is going to be your gas stations. This is going to be your fast food. This is going to be barber shops, hair salons within the exchanges. All of that opportunity is there. Let me look at my phone. I got some notes that I need to make sure I tell you guys, because I really am trying to sell the potential of this market space, and so that when you leave this room, you're not all vying to get into Walmart. Okay? You'll know something else that you can tap into. All right. So we talked about the money. And here's just some potential of the money, but there's also a mission part of this, and that when you're a part of this resale system, you're providing a benefit to those who help serve and protect, all right? So let me give you the good feel, okay? The Department of Defense offers certain quality of life benefits to military members, their families, and retirees. The general purpose of these benefits is to attract, retain, and support morale and readiness for military service members, okay? So really, the Department of Defense maintains this system as a benefit to America's militaries to boost their morale. If you're stationed on a base, they want to make sure you can go somewhere and shop. If you're abroad and you left your wife and children at home, they want to make sure that they have somewhere safe that they can come and they can experience the benefit. It's tax-free. It's tax-free. And remember, those commissaries are selling their groceries and goods at a discounted rate to the American military servicemen. Okay? So not only do you have an opportunity to make money here, but you have an opportunity to make a mission statement. Yes, sir.
So So if they're selling it at a discounted rate, how are they able to profit if it's a?
That's a great question. The exchanges take a profit, the commissaries don't. So from a business perspective, right? You're gonna sell your product to them. The markup at the commissaries is at cost plus 5%. Okay? The exchanges use non-appropriated funds, and they will mark up their product to take a profit, but how they spend that profit has to go right back into this pie. So if they're making a profit, let's say the exchanges are profitable, let's say they're doing 12.7 billion, and they're making 5 billion of that as profit. All of that 5 billion has to go back into military benefit or morale benefit on the base. So they'll take that 5 billion and build a bowling alley. They'll take that 5 billion and build a gym for the service members.
So then if you're putting, like, say you put a subway in there, then how are you able to profit if you can't show a profit?
The subway can show a profit. The exchange
The
can.
exchange can sell.
Yeah. So the subway is still going to sell at their same retail numbers, right? Your markups are going to be the same. Here it's going to be a little bit different, and I think that's probably a whole nother course. But here you're going to sell at the same rate that you would to any other wholesaler, retailer, or market. So if you were to take your wigs into the exchanges, your numbers wouldn't change. You would have the same profit margin. What they do on their end with their profit is with them. Yeah.
But commissary is different.
It is way different. It is way different. It is way different. In order for you to do commissary at a profit margin, you really have to know what you're doing. You really have to know your numbers, and you have to crunch it down to be able to pull a profit out of the commissary. Because they're not legally allowed to profit. And so if you're going into that market space, you really have to know what you're doing. Okay? And I would venture to say that if I was new to the market space, I would start here. I would start here. Because there's a lot that goes into this. All the way down to fulfillment, vendor shelf stocking. It's all done way differently. Okay? And then two, the exchanges just implemented an e-commerce platform in the last 3 years that is booming. A lot of that 12.7 billion is coming from e-commerce, which means you don't even have to have your product in the store. You can ship it yourself or drop ship with them. I'm telling y'all, major opportunity for drop shipping in that exchange side. And not only that, the government just opened up the number of people that, remember that story I started with my mom with that military ID card? They just opened up the marketplace to extend the number of people who can shop at commissaries and exchanges. So it used to be very limited to just people in the military and their spouses and families. But the DOD just lifted that in Title 10, and I'm going to tell you exactly who can shop there now. I think that's the next slide. I might be wrong. No, it's not. We're talking about money still. All right, so I'll get to that. I'll tell you who the consumers are in a second.
Does it have to do with people with disabilities?
Yes, they open it up to people with disabilities, Purple Hearts, Wounded Warriors, a lot of people. But do you see where the commissary ranks in America's top food retailers? Number one, of course, is big old Walmart. But DECA's not doing too bad. They're in the top 25. They're in the top 25. So it is a viable market. This is exchange. It's hard to compete in retail when you're not just specific to groceries. I don't know why my presentation is going by itself. Technical difficulties, y'all bear with me. Because I want you to get this.
So in order to get into the exchange, is there like a specific amount of vendors they let in based on, well, definitely based off of space, but it is, say for instance, lease agreement